Hi, my name is Jonna Overson, and I've spent years in the senior care industry watching as families and clients navigate the new opportunities and limitations surrounding the aging process. No two journeys look the same, but some consistent themes emerge as I look more closely at the road-facing clients and their families. 1. Individuals receiving care deserve and desire respect, but are not always capable of giving it. 2. Families arranging care often feel there is no perfect solution to the challenges facing a loved one, but instead are bombarded with a continuous parade of choices that come with pros and cons. Number 3, most people are learning to navigate illness and aging for the first time and feel overwhelmed at what they don't know. What I observed seeded the foundational values of our company, Green Tree Home Care. A vision of clients began to emerge, not of people with limitations, but of individuals capable of growth and wellness, who by receiving care executed with patience, clear communication, and a commitment to excellence, can experience the support and clarity they crave most. Our clients are unique and beautiful, with needs as varied as their backgrounds, origins, and experiences. They bring wisdom to our community and serve to remind us where we came from and what remains important. Green Tree Home Care is dedicated to providing home care designed to keep a client safe, cared for, and comfortable in his or her home. Our care professionals are the roots of that endeavor. They convey a passion for caring by taking pride in the small actions that add up to make a big difference. Love is in the details. Our goal is to provide you, our care professionals, with the support and training you need to reach your personal and professional goals. We are thrilled you have decided to join the Green Tree Home Care family and look forward to growing with you. We want to share a secret with you, our secret sauce, what makes excellent care professionals such as yourself want to join our team. What draws our clients to us and then excites them enough to send their friends our way. What makes our referral partners take the time to say, call Green Tree first, they're the best in the market. It is our promise to care. And when we make that promise, we don't simply say it and move on, we prove it every day. We prove our passion for caring when we send in the best care professionals in the industry who are passionate about the clients they support. We prove our passion for caring when our client care team is available anytime, day or night, and happy to take the call. We prove our passion for caring when we take the time to make monthly in-person client visits, call follow-ups before and after every new shift, and provide regular family updates. We prove our passion for caring when we stop immediately to answer the questions of our care professionals regarding what matters to them, their pay, their job responsibilities, their schedules, and their lives. We prove our passion for caring when we follow up with referrals immediately, help them even if they decline services, and report back to our referral partners so they remain in the loop. Caring isn't something you say, it's an action you do. Our goal is to prove that we care through every action and interaction. Together, we can show the world the value of the Green Tree Home Care culture. This handbook is yours to keep. It details important operations and procedures you will need as part of the Green Tree Home Care team. As a care professional, you have the responsibility and the privilege of supporting our valued elderly and disabled population. It is through your effort, compassion, and expertise that our clients can remain safe, cared for, and comfortable at home. This handbook serves to inform you of Green Tree Home Care expectations regarding employment practices, benefits, policies, and standards of conduct concerning you as an employee. This handbook is a guideline, not a complete description of expectations for your standards of conduct or policies applicable to your employment. We will go over the information in your employee handbook together, but we recommend you reread this manual thoroughly and refer to it if you have questions regarding your employment, responsibilities, or procedures. Green Tree Home Care expects all employees to conduct business to the highest ethical standards of conduct. Any situation that appears to be a conflict of interest between the agency and the employee is not acceptable. A potential or actual conflict of interest occurs whenever an employee is in a position to influence a decision that may result in a personal gain for the employee or an immediate family member as a result of the agency's business dealings. Signed acceptance of this employee handbook attests that you will not place yourself in a position where personal interests may influence decisions between Greentree Home Care and other entities. A client's personal information is private. This includes any information shared via paper, electronically, or verbally. The only people who have authorization to receive information are listed in the care plan under the contacts page. If anyone outside of those listed on the contacts page inquires about the status or requests personal information regarding a client, direct them to Greentree Home Care administrative staff. If you share any information to anyone other than the approved contact list, this is a violation of HIPAA and may result in termination. Greentree Home Care employees are permitted to engage in outside work or hold other jobs, subject to certain restrictions as outlined in your handbook. However, you are not to seek employment directly or indirectly from a client to whom you have been assigned for at least 365 days after your last day of that assignment. Greentree Home Care is an equal opportunity employer. The agency prohibits any discrimination or harassment based on protected categories. The agency prohibits discrimination based on disability in both the application process and during employment. An employee with a disability that impacts his or her ability to perform should contact agency administrators to see if reasonable accommodation may be available to help the employee perform essential job function. An accommodation that causes undue financial hardship on the agency or endangers the health or safety of the employee, other employees, or clients is not considered reasonable accommodation. Greentree Home Care is committed to protecting the rights of expectant mothers. We will not terminate any employee or refuse to hire an applicant due to pregnancy or childbirth. Pregnant employees may continue to work until they are certified as unable to work by their physician. An employee requiring maternity leave shall provide the agency with a reasonable notice of expected leave date. Should the employee not return to work when released by her physician, she will be considered to have voluntarily terminated her employment with the agency. For up to 1 year after a child's birth, an employee who is breastfeeding will be provided reasonable break times as needed to express breast milk for her child. Greentree Home Care believes that all employees are entitled to a work environment free from all forms of intimidation, discrimination, or harassment. If any conduct, whether verbal, visual, or physical in nature, is considered to be inappropriate or unacceptable, the agency will take all such reports seriously. If any investigation confirms the activity occurred, corrective action will be initiated up to and including termination for cause. All Greentree Home Care employees have the right to complain of illegal acts, fraud, abuse, discrimination, and harassment without retaliation. As long as employees act in good faith, for instance, telling the whole truth to the best of an employee's ability and cooperating with any investigations, no adverse employment action will be taken against the employee for reporting such activities. Every new Greentree Home Care employee experiences an initial period of adjustment while learning about the agency and his or her job. This is also an opportunity for the employee to learn if he or she is suited to and likes the new position. The initial period gives the supervisor a reasonable time to evaluate the employee's performance. This initial period of employment is considered to be 3 to 6 months. During this period of employment, the employee will be provided with training options as needed and guidance from his or her supervisor or other agency staff. The new employee may be dismissed at any time during the initial employment period if he or she is determined not to be performing satisfactorily. Under some conditions, the initial employment period may be extended at the discretion of the supervisor or administrative team. Additionally, an employee may be terminated at will, with or without cause, and without prior notice by the agency. At the end of the initial employment period, the employee and supervisor shall discuss his or her performance. If the employee's job performance is deemed satisfactory, at the end of the initial employment period, he or she will continue as an at-will employee of the agency. Greentree Home Care employees are categorized based on the conditions of employment as described below. Full-time employees work 7 hours per day, 5 days a week. Full-time employees can be classified as exempt or non-exempt per definitions in your handbook. Full-time employees working 30 or more hours may be eligible for health insurance after the initial probationary period. Part-time employees work 20 hours or less, but no more than 30 hours per week. Part-time employees can be classified as exempt or non-exempt per the definitions in your handbook. A scheduled absence is any leave from work that has been requested in writing and approved by your supervisor in advance of a confirmed assignment. Any request must be preceded or immediately followed by a phone call to the administrative team. All absences must be reported to the administrative team at least 4 hours prior to beginning of your scheduled assignment, unless previous arrangements have been approved. An unscheduled absence is any confirmed assignment workday that is missed without prior written notice and approval. Unscheduled absences that do not meet the 4-hour communication window or are accompanied with no communication may be considered a no-show and may be grounds for immediate termination. The following absence scenarios are less common but very important. If any of the following situations apply to you, please refer to your employee handbook and call the administrative team. They include jury duty, military leave, and family and medical leave. Green Tree Home Care has the right to terminate any employee at any time and for any reason. Green Tree Home Care employees have the right to terminate employment at any time and for any reason. With the exception of an emergency situation, Green Tree Home Care employees must give a minimum of 2 weeks' notice in writing to end an assignment with a specific client to remain in good standing. If a care professional expresses an interest in ending an assignment earlier, Green Tree Home Care Administration will try to accommodate that request. We hope your employment with Green Tree Home Care is a mutually satisfying experience. We understand that employees may need to voluntarily resign employment. The agency requests that all employees give a written 2-week notice prior to their resignation date to remain in good standing and eligible for rehire. Employees who do not accept a job assignment for 3 consecutive months will be deemed to have voluntarily resigned. Not showing up for a client is considered client abandonment and may be grounds for termination. You may be determined ineligible for rehire. All employees leaving employment with Green Tree Home Care must return all agency property, including uniforms, personal protective equipment, cell phones, keys, computers, and identification cards. Failure to return items may result in a deduction from your final paycheck. Former employees who left Green Tree Home Care in good standing and were classified as eligible for rehire may be considered for reemployment. Any employee who is terminated for violating an agency policy or who resigned in lieu of termination due to a policy violation is ineligible for rehire. In order for Green Tree Home Care and you to be successful, certain applicable laws, policies, procedures, and agency rules must be followed. The following behaviors have been determined by the agency to be by their very nature so harmful to our business that any participation on the employee's part may be grounds for immediate termination or other disciplinary action. Absence from work without notice, excessive call-offs, failure to report to an assigned shift on time and without notice of the delay or failure to observe agreed upon working hours including overtime. Use, sale, possession, or being under the influence of either drugs or alcoholic substances while on duty or otherwise engaged in agency business. Possession of a weapon with or without permit while on duty. Theft or dishonesty of any kind. Falsification of time records or other agency records. Misappropriation or use of agency property, another employee's personal property, or the client's property, including using either the agency's or the client's phone for personal business. Gambling while on duty with either your own property or that of the client. Insubordination, physical or verbal abuse of other agency employees, visitors, or clients. General use of vulgar or inappropriate language or statements that could be considered discriminatory in nature and a violation prohibited by law. Inappropriate behaviors, unwanted advances, or physical contact with other employees or clients. Non-cooperation with coworkers, supervisors, and clients and their families. Substandard work performance. Failure to follow universal precautions, safety rules, and common sense with regard to safety of yourself and/or the client. Causing client complaints related to performance, judgment, ethics, or competence. Divulging confidential information either about the client's or the agency's proprietary information. Talking without authorization to outsiders. Failure to report an on-the-job injury to the supervisor within 24 hours. failure to abide by agency social media policies, solicitation or acceptance of private employment from Greentree Home Care clients or families. Greentree Home Care employees may participate and contribute to political organizations. At no time shall the resources of this agency be used for the purpose of supporting any political issues. As a Greentree Home Care professional, you are only authorized to work with a client in a private arrangement if you have a written release allowing you to do so from the Greentree Home Care administrative team. Working for a Greentree Home Care client as a private caregiver without release may incur legal action. We know everyone makes mistakes, and most people want the opportunity to excel at goals and expectations. So we use a guidance system designed to allow you to learn from your mistakes and correct any oversights. While we strive to follow the guidance procedures as outlined below, there are times when the severity or nature of the action requires immediate termination. The company retains the right to omit or follow the steps as the situation warrants. 1. Verbal warning. This is an opportunity for you and your manager to discuss the situation. He or she will discuss the situation with you and let you know how to correct the issue. Number 2. First written warning. If the problem persists, your manager may discuss a plan for improvement. He or she will let you know there is still an issue, and if the issue continues, you may receive further disciplinary action. You will be asked to sign a copy of the statement for your personal file. Number 3. Final written warning. At this point, you are responsible for an immediate performance improvement. You will be asked to sign a copy of the statement for your personnel file. 4. Termination. Although we desire your success, if there is little effort to improve, the situation may call for termination. You will be using the ClearCare system for clocking in and out. To clock in or out, call 866-775-5973 and follow the prompts. Your phone will be GPS synced to your worksite. Clock-ins that occur outside of the worksite will be reported to the agency. You can log in to ClearCare using your email on file and the password 1 all lowercase. You will see your scheduled shifts. If you click on the shift, you will see more information including the care plan, emergency contacts, and address. You can even clock into shifts by logging in via a device. Step 1. Go to www.clearcareonline.com via your phone or computer. Step 2. Select Login at the top right of the screen. Step 3. Enter your email and password. We have the opportunity to use software that allows our clients and their families live access to the schedule and daily voice notes. The voice recording feature will not be available for general notes, so our clients' families can feel more connected with the daily happenings. We want to leave the following information each day. Number 1. What you did that day and how the client was. 2. Leave this note after every shift. And 3. Notes should be between 10 and 20 seconds long. A great example of a note would be, today we went out. The client felt really good. We had keys made and felt the wind on our face while at the beach. A great example of a note might also be, today Mr. Jones did not feel well and stayed in bed. I made some dinner and put it in the fridge. I did a load of laundry and visited with Mr. Jones about his granddaughter. A poor example of a note. I'm reporting 15 miles. Another poor example of a note. I need the 15th off. Another poor example of a note. The last caregiver did not dump the trash and it smelled. Of course, if you need a change made on your paycheck, have a vacation request, or are managing stinky trash, please email, text, or call the administrative team. But the voicemail system is for daily updates with the family about what you did that day and how the client was. Mileage reporting. At clockout, you will be asked if you have mileage to report. Mileage is paid only for miles driven in your car during your scheduled shift. It does not include coming or going to the client's location or driving done in a client's car. You are required to clock out if you leave the client's home at any time during your shift for personal reasons. provided you have proper approval to leave. You will need to call the office to have one of the administrative team members clock you back in. Clock-in should occur precisely as scheduled. Some clients are very sensitive to shifts executed outside agreed times. Clock-ins more than 5 minutes before or after a shift require a verbal explanation to the administrative team.
When you call your agency's telephony number, the system recognizes who you are by what phone number you are calling from, and if there is a shift available for you at this time. Call your agency's telephony number when you arrive at your client's home.
You are calling from the home of Andrew Nest. Press 1 if you are Jessica Roberts and you would like to clock into the 10:30 a.m. shift. You have been clocked in at the home of Andrew Nest. You may hang up now or remain on the line to hear your tasks for the shift. There are 2 tasks for the shift. Task number 1. Prepare breakfast. Task number 2. Assist with bathing.
Now you can hang up. Clocking in is done. At the end of the shift, call telephony again to clock out and update tasks.
You are calling from the home of Andrew Nest. Press 1 if you are Jessica Roberts and you would like to update tasks or clock out. Press 1 to review your tasks for the shift. Press 2 to report the status for tasks. Press 7 to record mileage. Press 2. Prepare breakfast. Press 1 to mark the task as complete. Press 2 to mark the task as incomplete. 2. Assist with bathing. Press 1 to mark the task as complete. Press 2 to mark the task as incomplete. Please provide a reason why this task was not completed after the beep. Press the pound sign when you are finished.
Client did not want to bathe.
All tasks have been updated. Press 7 to record mileage. Press 8 to leave a general comment or report a change in condition. Press 9 to clock out this shift. Use your keypad to enter the number of miles for the shift. Press the pound key when you are done. 2 miles recorded. Press 8 to leave a general comment or report a change in condition. Press 9 to clock out this shift. Please record after the beep. Press the pound sign when you are finished.
All dishes have been done.
Your comment has been recorded. Press 7 to record mileage. Press 8 to leave a general comment or report a change in condition. Press 9 to clock out this shift. You have been clocked out of the home of Andrew Nest. Goodbye.
Hang up after clocking out.
You are paid your regular hourly wage for all the time you spend working on behalf of a client. Remaining at a client's home after your shift has ended is not permitted, and working off the clock is not allowed. Rest breaks are short paid periods of personal time during the workday. They are paid because the law considers them to be time that you worked. You're entitled to a 10-minute rest break for every 4 hours of work. Since we are often working in dynamic conditions, it is important you take your 10-minute break at a time convenient for you and the client. Meal breaks. Since we often cannot leave clients unsupervised, we support a 30-minute paid on-duty meal period for care professionals working shifts more than 5 hours. Meal periods can be taken around regular meal break times when there is client downtime. Greentree Home Care employees are paid each Friday via direct deposit. Direct deposit is deposited into the financial institution of your choice at no cost to you, and your money is available for use on payday. Each workweek begins at 12 a.m. Monday and continues through 11:59 p.m. on the following Sunday. Employees should always review their paycheck statements for accuracy. Mandatory deductions such as federal, state, and local income taxes and contributions to Social Security and Medicare will be itemized on the payroll check stub. Employees should notify the administrative team immediately if they believe an error has occurred on their pay so that corrective action can be taken. Non-exempt employees will receive 1.5 times their regular hourly rate for hours worked exceeding 40 hours per work week or over 9 hours in a day. Greentree Home Care is in operation Monday through Sunday, 365 days each year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Day, Easter, and 4th of July are company holidays and are paid at time and a half. Greentree Home Care will reimburse employees for expenses incurred on behalf of the agency. These expenses may include travel between clients or mileage while driving on duty. Procurement of pre-approved supplies will also be reimbursed. Receipts must be turned into the administrative team before reimbursement can be processed. Reimbursements are paid on the payroll distribution following receipt submission. Please do not accept tips or gratuity. This is for your protection. Direct clients to the Greentree Home Care administrative team. The agency does not take a percentage of tips or gratuities, but does record them in the system. This protects employees from accusations of wrongdoing. You are never permitted to be a beneficiary in a client's will. You waive your eligibility of beneficiary upon hiring. Once employees have worked with Greentree Home Care for 30 days or more, they are entitled to paid sick leave. Paid sick leave accrues at the rate of 1 hour per every 30 hours worked, paid at the employee's average wage rate for the past 90 days. Accrual begins on the first day of employment. You will see your sick hours continue to accrue past 40 hours. The accrual is a record of the sick time clock. You are only eligible to take 40 hours of sick time reimbursement in a calendar year, even though the accrual clock will keep adding hours. You will need to check with the administrative team to find out how many hours you have used or accrued. Greentree Home Care limits the use of paid sick days to 40 hours or 5 days in each year of employment. We love when our care professionals pursue educational goals. Because we believe in learning as a lifelong pursuit, we offer tuition reimbursement. You are eligible for tuition reimbursement on the 90th day of employment. Tuition reimbursement is an accrual program. You begin accruing tuition reimbursement hours at the same rate as your sick leave. Tuition reimbursement accrues at the rate of 1 hour per every 30 hours worked, paid at the employee's average wage rate for the past 90 days. The maximum tuition reimbursement hours an employee can accrue and use is 40 hours in a calendar year. Tuition reimbursement resets in January. Accrual begins on the first day of employment and resets each year. Employees who wish to activate tuition reimbursement must be actively working, provide proof of attendance and program cost, and begin or attend an eligible program during employment with Greentree Home Care. Eligible programs must offer skill improvement regarding home care and include the following: Licensed Vocational Nursing Program or LVN, Registered Nurse or RN, Certified Nurse Assistant or CNA, Certified Home Health Aide or HHA. If you are enrolled or wish to pursue a program not listed, please check with the administrative team for possible approval. Reimbursement hours are paid out over time and max out at 4 hours per month for a total annual payout of up to 40 hours. You must be employed to receive the reimbursement. Reimbursement cannot exceed the cost of the education program. To continue to receive education reimbursement, you must enroll and participate in a new program or semester. Updated proof of payment will be required. We believe in supporting the health and wellness of our care professionals. Greentree Home Care offers 50% coverage of healthcare benefits for employees working 30 or more hours over a 30-day period. Health benefits begin 90 days after date of hire. You must either accept health benefits or fill out a health benefit waiver upon eligibility status. Employees have the opportunity to add family members as the policy permits. We realize home care hours fluctuate by nature. If employee hours drop below 30 hours per week, Greentree Home Care will continue to support health benefits for 30 days as long as the following conditions are met. Number 1, the employee accepts all offered shifts during the reduced hour period. 2, the employee has not received a disciplinary notice, verbal or written, within the last 30 days. 3, the employee did not voluntarily reduce hours or restrict schedule. 4, the employee is willing and able to accept 30+ hours weekly immediately. All decisions to cover health benefits will be made at the discretion of the administrative team. We value the efforts of our care professionals in promoting the Green Tree Home Care organization. If a client who is referred by a Green Tree Home Care employee starts and maintains service for 30 days, that care professional will receive a referral bonus of $100. An employee who refers a new care professional to Green Tree Home Care is entitled to a $50 referral fee once that new employee is hired and placed with a client. Green Tree Home Care encourages open communication among all employees to create a productive and respectful work environment. We hope that all employees feel free to express issues of concern and make suggestions and recommendations about work conditions and operations. All Green Tree Home Care employees are expected to be punctual and regular in their attendance. You are expected to report to work as scheduled, on time, and prepared. Unscheduled absences and tardiness is disruptive to the quality of care we provide our clients, and it places an unfair burden on your fellow care professionals. When you accept a job assignment, you are expected to arrive on time and work the full scheduled hours. If an employee reports more than 5 minutes late to work without permission, they are considered tardy. We do understand that an emergency or situation similar to that is out of your control and may cause you to be tardy or absent. If you are going to be tardy by more than 5 minutes or totally absent from your assignment, you must notify the administrative team. The administrative team will communicate directly with the client on your behalf. Repeated absenteeism and/or tardiness is not tolerated. The tardy tracker resets at the year anniversary of your hire date. To be considered a tardy, care professionals must communicate an anticipated late arrival ahead of time. Missed clock-ins without a call ahead or no-shows may result in immediate termination. We have a formal policy for handling late arrivals. 1 to 2 tardies, life happens. Tardy number 3 brings on a verbal warning. Tardy number 4, you will receive your first written warning. Tardy number 5, a final written warning. And tardy number 6 requires termination. All staffing goes through the office administrative team. Do not schedule with clients or families directly. It is important that you always know when you are scheduled to work. If you know in advance that you cannot work on a given day or days, you can request off via the main line at 858-231-7676. You will be asked to follow up your verbal request with an email to scheduling@greentreehomecare.com. Requests are due at least a week in advance and are not a guarantee of approval. If you must call off on the day of your shift due to illness or emergency, you must alert office staff at least 4 hours before your scheduled shift. Cancellations via text may not be received and are not permitted. If your client cannot be left unattended, do not leave until a relief person arrives. If you are scheduled to work and a client turns you away at the door, call the office and speak with a live person before you leave the area. You will be paid for 2 hours just for arriving. Any changes in shift hours should be reported to the office at the time the hours are changed. For example, leaving early or staying later than scheduled. All Green Tree Home Care employees shall receive upon hire their job description outlining their responsibilities, necessary qualification, physical demands, and work environment. Our administrative team develops an individualized care plan for each client and his or her family. As care professionals, you are to follow the care plan and report any changes in condition or procedures that occur to the office promptly. Changes include any requests made by the family or the client. Note: daily notes must coincide with the care plan instructions and will be reviewed. The care plan can be found in the Green Tree Home Care binder placed at the house along with notes, emergency contacts, and recipes. When you are assigned to a new case, you will receive an email with the care plan attached. You will also be able to access the care plan via the caregiver portal. You will speak directly with a member of the administrative team concerning the new client and the care plan. Each time you enter a client's home, review the care plan and any notes created since your last shift. What to report to the office. Change in client status. Change in cognitive status. Change in bowel or bladder routine. New equipment in the home. New medications. Changes in skin condition, including red, hot, white, rashes, open sores, or tears. New services, including hospice, home health, or geriatric care managers. Changes in appetite. client or family concerns or complaints, symptoms of falls or abrasions, changes in advanced directives or DNR status, upcoming procedures, behavioral changes, and assistance with others in the house. When relieving another care professional or being relieved, reporting should take no more than 5 minutes. Good notes and communication with the administrative team helps to streamline the shift transferring process. If you have something to report of an urgent nature, immediate change in schedule, hospitalization, fall, or something along those lines, call the office and follow up with an email. If it is not urgent, call during business hours or send an email within 12 hours of incident. Your note is a legal document, so please ensure accuracy. The following practices are essential in taking great notes. Record carefully, accurately, and concisely. Chart only facts, not opinions. Use black ink. Make sure notes are legible. Do not use erasers or whiteout. Simply draw a black line through the incorrect area and write correction to the side with your initials. The notes must remain in the notebook as open-air notes. These are for communication between Greentree Home Care professionals and authorized family members. Alert administrative team when fewer than 5 note sheets remain. Documentation should be completed during the shift. We work with long-term care insurance providers to help our clients continually qualify for benefits. The ADL sheets go directly to the insurance providers and are used to qualify clients for reimbursement. It is essential that you completely fill out the duties you perform and use language like hands-on, stand-by, and citing specific ADLs you complete. Incomplete records can cause an audit or revocation of benefits. Please call the office if you have questions. While a portion of your time may be spent sharing space with the resting client, 80% of your activities should include direct ADL support of the client. 20% of your care may include light housekeeping, meal preparation, transportation, and errands. You are permitted to leave the client safely unattended at home to run an errand if this is included in the care plan. Call the main number if you are unsure. If you need to purchase items for the client per his or her request, or the request of an approved family member, you will need to adhere to the following protocols. Number 1. Report via email the amount of the transaction and email a copy of the receipt. Leave the original receipt with the client. Number 2. Report if you are using cash or credit. Number 3. Do not ask for or use a client's PIN number. Number 4. Care professionals should not use personal money to pay for client purchases. Number 5. Care professionals are not allowed to accept purchased items or take advantage of buy one get one deals. Number 6. Co-shopping is not allowed. Care professional purchases should be limited to impending meals and necessities. If some other arrangement would better serve the client, please call for approval. Number 7. Clients should never pay for care professional auto gas. All mileage reimbursement is handled through the agency. Greentree Home Care is a drug-free work environment. We reserve the right to require any employee to submit to a drug screen, which will be determined by the agency at its sole discretion. Every consideration will be taken to recognize and respect the dignity of the individual team member when collecting specimens for drug screening tests. Greentree Home Care requires that employees keep their personnel records accurate and up to date. Employees are to promptly notify administrative team members of any changes in name, home mailing address, contact numbers, required W-4 updates, required TB updates, car insurance, and driver's license information. Greentree Home Care is committed to the ongoing quality improvement of our services. Part of this improvement program is to assure that all employees receive a thorough orientation and resources for continued growth and learning. All employees of the agency will be oriented to their respective roles and responsibilities within the Greentree Home Care family. Per state regulations, all employees are required to have a minimum of 5 hours of continuing education each year. Proof of completion is required for all training hours received and must be on file to count toward the 5-hour training requirement. Meetings allow you to stay on top of new information and to participate in decision-making discussions. Meetings are mandatory, compensated, and should be treated like a regularly scheduled shift. Each month, we send out a care professional newsletter. Do not opt out of this email list. It is important updates about your job, requirements, opportunities, and recognition and rewards. It is a job requirement to check those emails. You can take advantage of downtime at a client's house to get updated on company news. If you do not email, you can make arrangements to come by the office for a printed copy or have a copy mailed to you. As a care professional with Green Tree Home Care, your appearance and behavior reflect directly on the agency. Cleanliness and good grooming are essential to professional appearance. Reasonable accommodation will be made for a person's disability or religious or moral beliefs. Appropriate attire includes neatly pressed scrubs and closed-toe footwear, either clean sneakers or nursing clogs. If allowed by the care plan, a polo or clean pressed blouse with slacks may also be appropriate. If you have an employment arrangement with another agency, you are not to wear your Green Tree Home Care name tag while on duty with another employer and vice versa. Clothing must be kept clean and pressed at all times, and you will be required to follow the following guidelines for other aspects of your personal appearance. Scrubs are required unless otherwise noted. Solid colors are preferred. Hair, beards, and mustaches must be clean, well-groomed, and a natural color. No cologne, perfume, or cosmetics with fragrance. Conservative makeup, please. No excessive or dangling jewelry or facial jewelry. No jeans, sweatshirts, pants, or jogging suits. No torn, stained, or wrinkled clothing. No open-toed shoes, sandals, heels, or flip-flops. No short skirts above the knees or shorts. No visible tattoos. No clothing with logos or graphics. If your attire is deemed by the administrative team to be inappropriate, you will be asked to change. You will not be compensated for the time off work to accomplish this task. If you feel you need to wear something different than what the guidelines require, contact the administrative team. Out of respect for our clients and other employees, no person employed or otherwise may solicit or distribute literature in the workplace at any time and for any purpose. Green Tree Home Care endeavors to provide an environment that is positive and supportive of its employees. As an employee, you are expected to treat the agency, co-workers, and clients' property with respect and care. Equipment and supplies provided to you for your assignment should not be used for personal use. You are asked to report any lost, stolen, broken, or damaged property to your supervisor as soon as possible. Any agency property checked out to you at the beginning of your employment is to be returned upon your termination or resignation. Any property belonging to the agency that is not returned will be deducted from your final paycheck. Green Tree Home Care employees are not to use the client's phone for personal calls. If it is necessary for you to call the office or one of the staff regarding client care, you are to ask the client's permission to do so. This also applies to calls that you expect to come to you while on duty. Again, no personal calls. You are not to give the client's phone number to your family or friends. If someone needs to reach you in an emergency, instruct him or her to call the main office, and the administrative team will share the message. You can also receive personal calls on your cell phone to be checked during your paid break times. Green Tree Home Care does not require employees to own a personal cell phone. For your convenience, telephony uses your cell phone number to verify the login. If you do not have a cell phone or do not wish to use your personal cell phone, the telephony system will be activated via the client's home phone number. All personal electronic devices should be turned to silent if left on your person during your shift. Do not engage in personal texts or calls outside of break times. The exception is if a member of the administrative team calls during your shift. They may have important information pertaining to your shift. We recognize that most cell phones have cameras. Taking pictures while on duty is prohibited. It is never appropriate to take pictures of the client, their family members, or their property via any device, including a cell phone. Failure to adhere to this policy is a direct HIPAA violation and may result in substantial financial penalty. Use of a cell phone, including texting, company-owned or otherwise, is expressly prohibited during the operation of any vehicle. Violation of this policy may be grounds for dismissal. Driving while texting and/or talking on the phone is extremely dangerous and against the law. Clients and client families have the right to install and monitor cameras in a private home without disclosure. Cameras cannot be installed in a care professional's private space, including a bathroom or bedroom. Please always provide care as if someone is watching. Greentree Home Care administrators are not always informed about cameras in the home. All Greentree Home Care employees are covered by workers' compensation and unemployment insurance during their employment with Greentree Home Care. If you need to file a claim, make sure to indicate Greentree Home Care as the employer, not the client you were working with at the time. Greentree Home Care provides each customer and family with an emergency contact information sheet and a care plan home binder. The contacts page includes emergency contact information that is client-specific, like family members, doctors, and other medical professionals. General emergency contact information includes the following: police, fire, or medical emergency is 911. Non-emergency number is 211. Poison control is 800-876-4766. Road and weather conditions can be found at www.localconditions.com/weather-san-diego-california/9201/traffic.php. San Diego Gas and Electric emergency number is 800-611-7343. Whenever the situation appears to be life-threatening or when the client requires immediate transport to a hospital or emergency center, call 911 or hospice as outlined in the care plan. Greentree Home Care administrative team must be alerted secondly via the main number at 858-231-7676. The administrative team will reach out to emergency contacts listed on the emergency contact form, so care professionals can concentrate on client care. If there is another procedure for emergency reporting, it will be noted in the care plan. Follow the care plan. Life-threatening incident, accident, or fall, please call 911 or hospice as directed by the care plan. Notify the agency. Administrative team will call the client's emergency contacts. Once the client is safe and the situation is secure, record the incident and send an email to jonna@greentreehomecare.com. Submit the incident report within 24 hours, including weekends or holidays. Non-life-threatening incidents, call Greentree Home Care main number. Once the client is safe and the situation is secure, record the incident and send to jonna@greentreehomecare.com. If there is a utility breakdown, such as power or water, for more than an hour, alert the Greentree Home Care administrative team. You may be directed to call SDG&E to report the outage or given directions for client relocation. However, if a customer's well-being is in imminent danger, call emergency services and follow the directions of emergency responders. If a client's landline phone is out of order, every effort will be made to make contact from other phones. Natural gas is odorless and colorless, but a sulfurous smell is added to it for easy detection. If you smell gas in a client's home, evacuate immediately. Call 911 and then call SDG&E. If the client is on propane, follow the directions of emergency responders. Fires are common emergencies which can be started via a number of reasons. Fires can be prevented by paying attention or supervising activities in the kitchen, keeping all fires watched and well maintained, throwing out oily rags in designated airtight containers, and not using any appliances with damaged or exposed wiring. Note: small fires can be put out with a fire extinguisher or water. Grease fires should never be put out with water. Use an extinguisher or smother them with a lid or heavy blanket. Electrical fires should only be put out with an extinguisher. Never use water. In case of a major fire, heed all fire alarms. Keep your head low to avoid smoke inhalation. Exit the building as soon as possible and call 911. Avoid using elevators. Test door handles with the back of your hand for heat to ensure that fire is not behind the door. If trapped, call 911 immediately. If ceiling is collapsing, curl up into a ball sideways with your right side toward the ceiling, shielding your head and body with your right arm. It is most important to protect your head with both hands. When a fire occurs, evacuation will begin immediately and continue until the client is no longer exposed to danger. Immediately contact 911. As a care professional, you are responsible for the initial evacuation of the room or area involved for both you and the client. Move yourself and the client to a safe place until the arrival of the fire department or other emergency first responder. Care professionals are in charge of supervising clients' ambulation or relocation to safety using available fire exits. Any assistive devices will be retrieved after the client's safety is assured and any danger to the provider has been relieved. Wildfires are a big safety concern in our area. If your client cannot be left unattended, it is imperative you report to work and remain with that individual until you are relieved. Leaving a dependent client may be considered job abandonment. If your client's home or your personal residence is in a fire-threatened area, contact the administrative team immediately. You will be given instructions regarding evacuation and location changes. If your client has been relocated, you will be notified by the administrative team. If your residential area is at risk for fire, call the team. Always follow evacuation orders. In the event the administrative team cannot be reached in a fire emergency, go to the closest emergency shelter. An earthquake usually occurs without any type of warning. If possible, attempt to get the client to a safe location, such as under a table or desk. Avoid taking refuge by bookshelves, glass areas, and doorways. After the earthquake is over, report any injuries and home damage to the emergency medical authorities via 911 and then to Green Tree Home Care administrative staff. If an injury or incident occurred during the event, document the incident. In most situations, you will reduce your chance of injury if you drop, cover, and hold on when the earth shakes. Taking the proper actions, such as drop, cover, and hold on, can save lives and reduce the risk of injury. Drop where you are onto your hands and knees. This position protects you from being knocked down and also allows you to stay low and crawl to shelter if nearby. Cover. Cover your head and neck with one arm and hand. If a sturdy table or desk is nearby, crawl underneath it for shelter. If no shelter is nearby, crawl next to an interior wall. Stay on your knees. Bend over to protect vital organs. Hold on. Hold on until shaking stops. Under shelter, hold on to it with one hand to be ready to move with your shelter if it shifts. If there's no shelter, hold on to your head and neck with both arms and hands. If you're in bed, do not get out of bed. Lie face down to protect vital organs and cover your head and neck with a pillow, keeping your arms as close to your head as possible, while you hold on to your head and neck with both hands until shaking stops. You are less likely to be injured by fallen and broken objects by staying where you are. More information can be found at earthquakecountry.org/disability for recommendations for people who use wheelchairs, walkers, or are unable to drop to the ground and get up again without assistance. In the event of a threatening phone call, remain calm and obtain as much information as possible. At first availability, contact Green Tree Home Care administrative staff. Upon learning of a potential flood, Green Tree Home Care support staff will contact emergency medical authorities using 911 to ask for aid in moving at-risk clients to higher ground. The Green Tree Home Care administrative team will monitor the radio for emergency instructions and communicate with care professionals if clients need to move to higher ground to avoid the flood. Client safety is the #1 priority. Protection of property and possessions should be of no concern until the client is safe. Ammonium chloride is mustard gas that is often mistakenly mixed in the home. Never mix cleaners containing ammonia such as glass cleaner with chlorine bleach. If this occurs, evacuate the house immediately and call 911. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas emitted in large quantities from old furnaces and water heaters. It is heavy and travels across the floor or a few feet above the ground. Never put or store anything on top of a furnace or water heater. If a carbon monoxide alarm goes off, evacuate the home and immediately call 911. We want every employee at Green Tree Home Care to have a safe work environment. The following principles will contribute to your safety and the safety of those around you. Practice proper lifting using your leg muscles, not your back muscles. If you would like further training on this, please let the office staff know and training will be arranged. Report any unsafe conditions and anything not working properly. Always report all accidents or injuries to the office staff immediately. Immediately clean any wet spots or glass up off the floor. Use a broom and dustpan. Do not pick up broken glass with your fingers. Do not leave broken or irritated skin exposed or untreated. Falls are a big deal. If your client falls while you are there, call emergency services or hospice, depending on the direction of the care plan. If a client can safely get up with minimal assistance, shows no adverse effects, did not hit his or her head, and refuses emergency services, you do not need to call emergency services. Alert office staff immediately. Further action may still be required. If the client is in pain, hit his or her head, is unable to get up independently, loses consciousness, or has any other abnormal symptoms, call emergency services or hospice. At that point, the client has the right to refuse emergency care directly to the provider. Safety is our priority. Do not attempt to move or transfer a client if you feel it is unsafe. Alert office staff immediately if you feel you are at risk of injury. You will need to fill out an incident report and send a copy to General Manager at greentreehomecare.com describing the fall, what action was taken, and the result to the client within 24 hours of any fall incident. We understand accidents happen from time to time. Many of the clients we work with experience very high fall risk. It is important to document exactly what occurred during an accident. The form will be located in the home care binder, or you can request a fillable PDF from the office. Submit the form within 24 hours of the incident. You can bring it by the office or send a high-quality picture or PDF scan. Make sure to fill the form out completely and with as much detail as possible. DNR means do not resuscitate. DNR orders are written instructions from a physician telling healthcare providers not to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR. CPR uses mouth-to-mouth or machine breathing and chest compressions to restore the work of the heart and lungs when someone's heart or breathing has stopped. It is an emergency rescue technique that was developed to save the life of people who are generally in good health. If a client does not have a DNR order, healthcare providers will begin CPR in an emergency. If you are caring for a client with a DNR in place, do call emergency services or hospice immediately if there is a change in health or an acute incident. The care plan will alert you to the appropriate resource. A copy of the DNR order will be kept in the Green Tree Home Care folder kept at the client's house. Please remember to bring enough food for yourself to last the entire scheduled shift. Some clients expect care professionals to share a meal as part of the experience, while others become offended at feeling pressure to share food. To alleviate possible misunderstandings, we ask every care professional to bring food to a scheduled case. If a client expects you to go out to eat as part of your job duties, they are expected to pay for the outing. This includes activities like shows and museums as well. Only individuals connected with Green Tree Home Care via state records are permitted at a client's residence. Family, friends, transportation providers, or anyone else who is not affiliated with the organization is not permitted in the private dwelling spaces of our clients. Green Tree Home Care is a non-medical care provider. Care professionals may not diagnose health conditions or suggest medications or medical treatments for clients. Please follow all doctor, home health, and hospice orders for medication reminders and physical therapy exercises. Scope of care includes roles and responsibilities care professionals often perform to keep clients safe, cared for, and comfortable at home. Care professionals are often hired to help clients with daily activities. Generally, activities of daily living, or ADLs, and instrumental activities of daily living, or IADLs, fall within the care scope of a care professional. It is important you understand what activities qualify as ADLs and IADLs. Professional organizations like insurance companies, government organizations like the VA, and medical providers may use a person's ability to execute ADLs and IADLs as a way to define or measure individual care requirements. A care provider's documentation concerning ADLs and IADLs can have a big impact on a client's ability to qualify for these programs. Activities of daily living are basic daily requirements necessary to maintain health and wellness. They include transferring and ambulation. You may need to assist a client from one place to another. That might include helping a person stand from a sitting position, move into a wheelchair, or assist from laying down to another position. Some clients need minimal support, while others may rely completely on a care professional for movement. Some clients may need help with walking, also called ambulation, to move safely from place to place.
They may use a walker or a cane to provide support. Personal care may include bathing, skin care, perineal care, teeth and hair brushing, makeup application, and dressing. When a person can no longer provide basic personal care for themselves, it is important to provide professional care that is respectful and thorough. Feeding and fluids. Making sure a client receives proper fluid and nutrition support is an important care professional role. Clients sometimes forget to eat and drink regularly, which can lead to dehydration and malnourishment. Offering fluids regularly is an important step in preventing urinary tract infections and other illnesses. Malnourishment is a serious problem in the elderly population. Offering regular nutritious meals helps clients stay strong and healthy. Elimination support. Sometimes clients lose control and consistency of body elimination. Care professionals may help clients with a variety of toileting tasks, including changing briefs, perineal care, bathroom reminders, getting to the bathroom, emptying and sanitizing commode pan, bedpan support, emptying catheter and colostomy bags, cleaning soiled clothing and bed linens. Instrumental activities of daily living, or IADLs, are activities that take several steps to complete and are important to meeting daily needs and maintaining independence. Light housekeeping may encompass a wide range of tasks, including dusting, laundry, vacuuming, mopping floors, decluttering and organization, plant and animal care, refrigerator and pantry cleaning, and room detail. Providing transportation helps clients maintain independence and stay connected with the activities that bring them joy. Clients receiving transportation services must be able to safely get in and out of the designated vehicle and must be able to bear weight and pivot. As part of your interview process, you were asked if you would be willing to transport clients in your private vehicle. If you replied yes, you must keep your car clean and accessible while providing transportation. Your vehicle must be reliable and in good working order. All mileage accrued on behalf of a client should be reported via the ClearCare system at the end of a shift. Never falsify mileage reports. You may be asked to verify mileage and route. If mileage records are shown to be falsified, disciplinary action may be taken up to and including termination. Never act as a passenger in a client's car. Our insurance prohibits care professionals riding as passengers while on duty. Communication assistance. Communication support may be as simple as helping a client dial a phone number or might involve detailed written communication and regular reporting to the care team. The care plan should outline how a care professional can best support a client's communications needs. Meal preparation, planning, and shopping. Meal preparation may begin with buying ingredients and making plans for meals that meet a client's taste and dietary needs. Medication reminders. Green Tree Home Care professionals can offer assistance with medications ordinarily self-administered by the client. Medications should be pre-dosed or the client must be able to manage his or her own medications. Assistance is limited to reminding the client when it is time to take a medication, reading the label of the medication container, handing the client-owned medication container to the client, opening the medication container, use of an enabler or placing the medication in the hand of the client, applying topical creams or ointments to intact skin, use of metered dose inhalers. Enablers are physical devices used to facilitate a client's self-administration. Pressure sores are areas of damaged skin caused by staying in one position for too long. They commonly form where bones are close to skin, like on ankles, back, elbows, heels, and hips. Clients are at a higher risk if they are bedridden, use a wheelchair, or are unable to change position. Pressure sores can cause serious infections, some of which are life-threatening. Care professionals can help prevent sores by keeping skin clean and dry, changing position every 2 hours, using pillows and products that relieve pressure. If you see any signs of redness or irritation, call the office ASAP. Advanced sores are slow to heal, so early treatment is best. Limitations exist to protect clients, care professionals, and home care organizations from performing or expecting services beyond the scope of the professionals providing service. The following activities are guidelines for activities that fall outside of an HCA's role. Medication administration. Care professionals are generally limited to medication reminders. Medication management and administration is a task for trained medical professionals or family members who take on that role. Administration of medication may include skin, suppository, feeding tube, placing pills directly in a client's mouth by hand or with tools, injections, or via inhalation treatments. Nail care. Nail cutting should only be done by a professional nail salon tech or medical professional like a podiatrist. You may use a soft nail file to even a client's nails. Nail care that requires cutting or treatment is out of our scope. If your client is in need of nail care, please contact the office. We can alert families or help arrange for outside support. Wound care. Surgical dressing is a service covered under Medicare. It is considered a medical service and involves dressings designed to come into contact with the wound. Tubes and drains. Catheters, drains, peripherally inserted central catheters or PICC lines, and feeding tubes fall under this category. Sometimes clients may require insertion of tubing to drain an internal abscess, help with elimination, or fluid or medication exchange. These lines offer a direct route for bacteria to go straight into the body. It is important to protect these points of insertion from contamination and generally require specialized knowledge and training to maintain the integrity of these sites. We can empty bags but cannot have direct contact with point of insertion. This includes inserting a syringe into a G-tube. Injections and blood testing. These tasks may be considered reimbursable by Medicare for skilled nursing procedures. Injections can also fall under the umbrella of administration of substances. We can offer assistance and reminders only. Oxygen tanks. Oxygen therapy may be prescribed by a medical professional. Changing oxygen levels falls outside a care professional's scope, though assistance with tubing and oxygen reminders are appropriate tasks. Financial involvement. Professional fiduciaries, CPAs, and attorneys have training and professional standards designed to protect them and the clients they serve from harm and liability. If your client would like help with bill pay, please contact Green Tree Home Care Administrative Team. We can help arrange for outside services. Bank outings must be communicated and pre-approved by the administrative team. Green Tree Home Care has a strict policy on the handling of disruptive and aggressive behaviors of clients. We understand that most often these behaviors are unintentional and the result of a debilitating disease process. Any handling of behavior issues should be done with the utmost care and consideration. Often two distinctive types of behaviors emerge. 1. Aggressiveness, inappropriate behavior, or 2. Non-compliance with the care plan. Always ensure client safety and your own well-being. If the disruptive behavior poses a serious safety risk to you or the client, call emergency services. Report the presence of disruptive behaviors and document in daily notes. Record the behavior and what you did to defuse the situation. Share the same information directly with the administrative team. You may be asked to follow up your call with an email containing a written statement or fill out an incident report. Possible tactics for promoting cooperation include prompting by using gestures, verbal and physical cues, or physical assistance. Simple correction by explaining or showing a client how to do something correctly, coaching or guiding the client with or without physical assistance. Ignoring inappropriate behaviors when possible. Offering or suggesting alternatives, discussing options, and discussing consequences of different behaviors. Encouraging the client to learn by observation, including modeling by care professionals and other individuals who support the client. Redirecting or diverting, offering a positive alternative to the behavior. Punishments of any nature are never used to correct inappropriate or challenging behaviors. We care about you as an employee and as an individual we work with. If you have personal information you would like to share, call us anytime. Please do not share sensitive information of a personal nature with clients and their families. This can include, but is not limited to, personal finances, relationship issues, or emotional stressors. Again, if you would like to share any personal information, call the office, but please do not share with clients. Oversharing can blur the line between caregiver and recipient. This behavior crosses into abuse and causes discomfort when the needs of the caregiver overshadow the needs of the client. Pets can be very important and personal to a client. Sometimes aiding in the health and well-being of a beloved pet is an essential part of caring for a client. We understand the need to protect care professionals in the course of their duties and provide for individual differences and needs as they relate to pets and or animals in the client's home or on their property. Pets in the home will be documented on the care plan with notes pertaining to animal care and the role of the care professional. If you have a fear or allergy, you will not be assigned to the client. If you believe any pet poses a potential threat, call the administrative team immediately and remain a safe distance until the situation can be contained. Your personal pets are never allowed in a client's home. As employees of Green Tree Home Care, you are the agency to our clients. Your attitude, behavior, and conduct reflect directly on the agency. We have 3 primary sets of customers: our employees, our referral sources, and our clients and their families. We value all of our customers and recognize that every one of them must be treated with respect, dignity, and fairness. As one of our customers, we strive to meet your expectations as your employer. You are entitled to be compensated fairly for what you do and to be honored and rewarded for your success. We also expect you to remember that your fellow workers are your customers and are to be treated with all the courtesy and respect that is accorded to you. Our referral sources count on us to provide excellent quality care to the clients they have referred to us. We consider this a sacred trust. We look to you, our care professionals, to assist us in honoring this trust. Finally, we provide the most intimate and personal services to our clients, and the quality of their lives depends on what we do or do not do. We believe that our customers are entitled to lovingly detailed care. We empower you, our care professional, to find the small details that make the big difference. If you find a customer has a special like or wish, discuss it with the administrative team. As a team, we want to learn the habits and personalities of each individual client. We encourage our care professionals to create experiences that have meaning and purpose for the clients under their care. Relationships are just as important as the task of caregiving.